All right, my apologies for the technical difficulties for that. You know, around here, we do a little bit of everything. All right, so who's excited to learn about worms? I'm the most excited. I cannot wait. All right, my name is Denise Reagan. I'm the executive director of the Garden Club of Jacksonville. That's this place that you're in right now. We are so excited because we are painting our ballroom right now, and it's gonna be so beautiful. So hopefully the next one of these that we do will be in the ballroom. All right, with me today is our marketing and membership manager, Corinne Lightfoot. She checked you in today, and she has a great new haircut, so it's complimenting her on her beautiful haircut. We're so excited because today's program features Tay Hinton of Little Earth Big Letters. I would not be doing my job as executive director of the Garden Club if I didn't tell you about membership. Who here is a member of the Garden Club of Jacksonville? All right, great. Let's hear it from members. Give yourselves a pat on the back. If you're not a member, it's always a good idea to become a member. And if you are interested in membership, please see me or a friend or ask any of the members that raise their hands why they are members, and they will tell you all about it. You get discounts on programs just like this. I'd also like to thank, I can't remember if I saw any members of our trustees. I don't think they are here today. Usually we have a couple with us, but we do have lots of volunteers. If you're a volunteer, raise your hand. Let's give them a giant round of applause. We can't do programs like this without their help, so thank you so very much. I'd also like to tell you about sponsorship opportunities. The Garden Club of Jacksonville offers sponsorships, which help cover the research, planning, and execution of programs just like budding gardeners. Think about a business or an organization or an individual that you interact with on a regular basis. Would they benefit from reaching new audiences like at the Garden Club of Jacksonville? Please tell them about the great work that we do and why you're involved. You can direct them to our sponsor page on our website, or they can contact me, Denise. All right, we have some great programs coming up I'm going to tell you about. Next month is Budding Gardeners Florida Friendly. That's August 10th. If you haven't already signed up, the tickets are going fast. You're going to learn about the crucial role that native plants play in our environment. And you're going to plant a native seedling to take home, and there'll be coloring activities and all sorts of fun things. We'll get tasting of native plant beauty berries and other kinds of jellies. So come to that on August 10th. After that, we have our big Cleanup Jacks event. Who has participated in a cleanup before? Anybody? All right. So this is part of a national movement. Every year, there is a cleanup day across the country, and the Garden Club is partnering with Riverside Avondale Preservation for a cleanup in this neighborhood. So we're going to work on the areas around us, so along Riverside Avenue and Post Street and the blocks next to us, plus our own campus, because litter happens here as well. So it'll be a really fun activity. It's free for everyone from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. because it's a little earlier because it's hot outside. But you're going to come here afterward and get some refreshments to cool off and to thank you for your help. So that is September 21st, National Cleanup Day. And then October, what happens in October, everyone? What's the cool thing that happens in October? Halloween, that's right, Halloween. So in honor of Halloween, we always have a fun budding gardeners. This one is about carnivorous plants. These are plants that eat things like bugs, right? You're gonna learn all about them. We have a really great expert. Hey guys, can I get your attention? Get your attention and just quiet down a little bit. Thank you. All right, so you're gonna learn all about carnivorous plants. That's October 19th, okay? And then also coming up is our horticulture show at the Jacksonville Fair. Who's been to the fair before? Anyone? Yeah. Did you know that there are plants at the Jacksonville Fair? There's a whole room full of plants, and it's a show. It's a horticulture show. And did you know that children can enter plants in the horticulture show and win money? Hey, right? So if you're interested in that, you can go to our website and learn more about it. We'd be happy to give you a form to learn more about it, but please check out the horticulture show information on our website, gardenclubjacks.org. All right, without much more ado, I'm going to introduce our speaker for the day. Are you excited? I'm excited. She has so much cool stuff to tell us about. And if I can get to that page, there we go. Hinton launched her company, Little Earth Wigglers, about a year ago with a worm farm in her dining room. She sells compost or worm manure, which is considered to be one of the best soil amendments available. Get ready to learn about the hardest working creatures in our soil. Real quick, I'm going to tell you that if you have questions, save them to the end, raise your hands, and Tay will repeat them because we're recording this because we're going to put it on our website. All right, so save your questions to the end. We will have a survey that we want you to take. So parents, please, this will be up on the screen later. Please scan this, tell people about this, tell us what you think of this program. We really want to hear from you. All right, without any more ado, I will hand it over to Tay. Give her a big welcome.
Hello, everyone. Tay Hinton with Little Earth Wigglers. It is a company I founded almost about a year ago, started about a year ago. And it's still in my dining room. It has not changed. I've not moved to a big location. And I'm going to talk to you about all the different types of worms that you can use to compost with and the benefits of them. So what is worm compost? Worm compost is like a magical snack buffet for plants, but it's made by some special helpers, worms. These worms munch on our leftover food scraps like apple cores, banana peels, banana stalks, and turn them to super duper soil that's packed with all of the good stuff plants need to grow big and healthy. It's like giving our plants a yummy, healthy meal that helps them thrive. What does worm compost do? Worm compost helps plants grow tall and colorful. Just like when you eat your vegetables, the compost gives plants all the good stuff that they need to be healthy, like vitamins and minerals. Worm compost also keeps away the bad bugs that might bother your plants. So it's kind of like a superhero for your garden. How to use worm castings. We sprinkle the worm castings around the base of the plants, just like putting sprinkles on top of ice cream. The plants slurp up the special nutrients from the compost that they love, and they grow big and strong. It's magical dirt that makes your plants super healthy. Where to find worms? You can find them wiggling around in the soil, especially in a damp or shady spot. Look under rocks, logs, and compost piles, and you might spot some squiggly friends making their home, and you might find your squiggly friends making their homes there. Sometimes after it rains, they come out to play in the wet ground too. So keep your eyes peeled, and you might just discover some amazing worms right in your backyard. Ways worms help our plants. Worms are tiny engineers underground. When they wiggle around in the soil, they make little tunnels and spaces. These spaces help air and water get to the plant roots easily. When the soil has lots of air and water, it stays fluffy, just like a comfy pillow. These plant roots have a lot of fluffy soil to stretch out and grow. Facts about worms. Did you know worms are super flexible? They don't have bones like us. So their bodies can bend and stretch all over the place. Even though they don't have eyes, worms can tell when it's light or dark around them with special cells in their skin. When worms are cut in half, these pieces can grow into new worms. Worms don't breathe like we do. They breathe through their skin, just like fish breathe through their gills underwater. That's why it's important for worms to stay wet. It helps them breathe and stay alive. And this is my Instagram and Facebook. If anybody want to contact me, take Hinton, my phone number, my email address, if anybody wanted to scan any of those. And I'm also asking for donations to help build a shed on my land in our front yard, basically, to move my worms and have homeschool groups come and view the worm farm. That's that. And I'm done. Oh, any questions? Victor? I didn't hear you. Do worms make dirt? Worms do not make dirt. They eat your food scraps. They eat maybe some plants that have died, some leaves, whatever, and they poop it out. And that was what goes inside your soil. Yes? The best worms for your soil, if it's in the yard, it will be the earthworms that you see because they're native to Jacksonville. If you have a raised garden bed or potted plants that are outside or maybe indoors, you also use composting worms. About me red wiggles and blue wigglers, they live in the first 6 inches of your soil and they won't go anywhere, versus earthworms, they'll come inside your bed, they need poop stuff out, then they'll leave and venture out. Yes.
I live in Jacksonville, sand is soup for the super sandy. Right?
Yeah.
So what are things that I can do that?
Is it like beach sand or is it beach sand?
Dark sand. It's sand.
You will have to mix it with soil and build it up probably about 6 inches and plant into that. Yes. I originally got my worms from a guy in Jacksonville. His name is Larry, and he taught me how to breed worms and about vermicompost, and then he gave me his business. I learned how. Oh, the question was, I'm sorry, what was your question again? It was where can I buy worms? You can buy worms directly from me. You can also go online. Amazon sells them. There's a place in Valdosta, Georgia, Mimi's Farms. She has them. You can actually visit. It's like an hour and a half away. She has a huge operation. But I got my worms from this guy named Larry. He taught me how to vermicompost, and then he just gave me everything he had. Back in the green shirt.
Charlie wants to know, can worms swim?
Can worms swim? Worms cannot swim, but they can live submerged in water completely up to 2 to 3 days before they unalive. Pink shirt with glasses, and then I'll get you. Do worms need water? Yes, they need water to breathe, and they need water. They also drink water too. And yes, in white shirt. How do worms regrow? Well, when the worm gets cut in half, the side that already has a brain will just grow back the bottom half, and then the side that doesn't have a brain will grow its own brain, gills, and mouth. Any more questions? Yes.
Okay, so when it rains in the car, all those street and everything is wet, and see worms like coming out in the street.
Mm-hmm.
What should we do when we see a worm that's like still alive on cement?
If you see a worm that's still alive on cement, throw it back in the soil. If not, then early bird catches the worm. Sometimes that the worm may come out because it's moisture or a lot of humidity in the air, and they don't realize that maybe it's just humidity and not actual moisture. And they'll dry out in the sun, and then they'll unalive itself. So if you see one, throw it back in the soil, or you can put it inside your raised garden beds and take it inside the house, put it inside your house plants, and they'll live there. Yes. How many hearts does a worm have? I have no idea. That's a great question. I do not know. 5? Okay, they have 5 hearts. Worms have 5 hearts. Oh, that's cool. Yes.
I know you don't get the whole here, but like what happens, in the winter, you know, with your lungs will, you know, change their crops out for, you know, your winter or fall crop. How can you make sure that your lungs?
The worms that I have can survive, as long as above 32 Fahrenheit, which is freezing temperatures. If it gets colder than that, they will try to burrow down deeper into the earth to, you know, get warmer. Or they just unalive. Any more questions? Yes.
How often can you put the word cat on your plants?
How often can you put the worm castings on your plants? You can put, the recommended amount is once a season, if you want to spread it out. But you can also, that's if you already have plants established. If you want to plant new, you know, repot to a bigger pot, or you're starting a whole new bed over, you would do 50% castings and 50% soil and mix that together. But yeah, just once a season will be fine. Yes. If you put worms in your pot, if you put compost and worms inside of your potted plants, they won't leave. They'll live in that top 6 inches of soil, and they'll just stay there forever as long as they have food. If they don't have anything to eat, they'll leave. If you put a native earthworm inside your pots or your raised garden beds, they will come in, get what they need, and then when they're done and whatever, they get bored and want to leave, they'll just leave. You have to feed them. They're going to eat whatever's in the soil and any dead leaves that may fall down. There's most soil mixes have like little pieces of wood and leaves in it, so they'll munch on that. As long as they have something to eat on, they'll stay. Yes.
I don't say it's full, but I still wanted to know how long can I get, how long will I get?
The composted worms that I have are red and blue wigglers. Oh, the question was, how long do worms get? The ones that I have, the red and blue wigglers that I have, can grow anywhere between 1.5 inches to 3 inches at most. They don't get very large. Earthworms grow, I think, about 8 inches long. And there's thousands of different varieties of worms, but the ones I have will stay pretty small. Yes, in the back. How do worms reproduce? They don't need nobody else but themselves. They grow cocoons in their bodies. If you see a worm that has like a little hump in it, that's a cocoon growing inside of their bodies. That cocoon has eggs in it. It can have anywhere between 6 to 21 eggs, and all those eggs have one worm in it. So they'll birth out the cocoon first, then that cocoon will house the eggs, and then when those eggs are ready to hatch and mature is when the worms come out. Any more questions? Yes. If you have a small worm farm in the backyard, how big of a container do you need? It's really just how comfortable you are with it. For every 1 gallon, the average amount is 100 worms. So if you want to start off with a 1 gallon bucket, 100 worms, and you'll just go on from that. There are tiered systems. Heat issues. Oh yeah, keep your worms in the shade. No direct sunlight. Especially if you have it outside, 100% shade, or they will get very hot very quickly. Do not close lids. Air holes, try to keep that bin as cool as possible. Okay, I'm gonna do purple shirt first, and then I'll get you back there. The average lifespan of the compost worms that I use is 2 to 3 years. Back there in the back. How can you tell if a worm is a boy or a girl? You can't. They are both.
Can we
And
give Tay a big round of applause? All right, now, let me hear a clap if you can hear me. 2 claps? 3 claps? Wonderful, okay, so now we're gonna do the hands-on portion of this program, which is gonna be super fun. Okay, everybody has a number on their name tag. If you have a 1, you're gonna start with the seed planting, which is out back underneath the oak. So we have morning glory seeds. Sorry, I have these misread, so number 3. I'm so confused, okay, so the seed planting is actually, this is completely confusing. So, yeah. Please stop holding that up because you're making me a little bit freaked out. Okay, so if you have a 1 on your thing, it's actually going to be a bookmark project, which is back here in the back of the thing. You're going to make your own bookworm, which you can use as a bookmark, or you can use it to decorate. If you have a 2, that is the worm touching station. So we have little bins where you can touch some worms, get your hands in the dirt and touch some worms and get up close and personal. And then I know this doesn't match the numbers here, but number 3 is the seed planting. Please let me have your attention. Please, everybody, be quiet. I would like everyone to be quiet, please, so that we can all hear the same thing at the same time. Thank you. All right. So number 3 is the seed planting activity, and you're gonna plant a morning glory seed, okay? So in addition to that, we have a video that's gonna be playing all about worms. That'll be going on throughout. And at the very end, when you've done all of your projects, you come back and you'll get some worms and dirt. So they're gummy worms and chocolate pudding and Oreos. I know. We like leveled up on the snack today, okay? So, there is a water cooler outside, so fill up your water bottles, okay? Stay hydrated out there. And everybody, go to your stations. Thank you so much.